Alrighty, and welcome back to our second 2013 matchup of the day. On the right side, you have Team South Central in white, and on the left, you have Team Toronto in blue. At your Best of Best Series 2024 here at the Scotiabank Pond in Toronto, Ontario. We have the winners of both last night's matchups facing off to see who will come out 2-0. Starting in goal for South Central will be Tristan Lee, and in net for Toronto is Chase Nielsen. As the final 30 seconds of warm-up conclude, we will have Pro Canada, and then we will get started here with the first 15 minutes of this game. Last night, South Central coming out on top against Team Alliance 5-3 and Team Toronto coming out on top 2-1. Close scoring games, very back and forth.
Can I have each of the teams please line up on their respective blue lines for playing international anthem.
Both teams finish up their warm-up here and take their final laps. We will have the starting five from each side line up. We will get this first period underway. The first period here is underway. Lined up for the draw, we have For Toronto, we had Jack Schwarb and Eric Wings. For South Central, as the puck is won back into the Toronto zone. South Central looking to get a shot away. Blocked by the skates of the Toronto's defense. They're looking to clear the zone, and they will. Hard pressure there by Wang. As Toronto takes it deep into Team South Central's zone. Centers it. Oh, one-timer just stopped by the toe of South Central's goalie and steered clear. Back on the stick of Hollins. Hollins across to defensive partner. Off pad, one save, two saves, and that'll be shoved wide by South Central's defense. South Central looking to center it. South Central comes away with it. Centers it. Just out of reach. 34, McKinley. Toronto will break out of their zone while South Central changes. Hollins will dump that one in. Gain the zone for Toronto. South Central will look to clear. Running around. Toronto's defense will pick that one up. South Central will play in the neutral zone here. Send it up the boards. They will battle here. 3 Toronto to 2 South Central on the boards here. That one will come loose towards the South Central end. South Central will dump that into the Toronto zone. Toronto's defense will regroup. That'll be spun around as he will go back below his own goal line, send it across to his partner. His partner will send that up to his winger. Oh, he chipped into the middle, far side. Zone gained, and Toronto will look to change. South Central now with little to no pressure will look to break out of their zone. Sends that up the close side boards as he stood up at the line. Thornton now wheeling around. He's looking to gain the zone for Toronto. Is stopped by number 80 for South Central. Tripped up at the blue line, and the puck is put in South Central's zone. South Central will dump that down, no icing. As Toronto regroups in their own zone, and South Central presses hard. Wheels around, sends it up to Sioux. Sioux centers it. And that'll be poked wide by Thornton. Thornton looking to get a shot away, centers it to Sioux. Sioux lets that go just slightly high and wide of South Central's net. Toronto looking for the wraparound, no dice, centers it onto the stick of Williams. He lets it go. That's steered clear by South Central's goalie. Battling in the corner there. Toronto comes away with that one. One-timer at the point. Sticked away by South Central's defense. And into the corner. Regained by Toronto behind the net. As they find the far side of the net. And that puts South Central up puts Toronto up 1-0 on South Central here early in this first period. Thornton will find the far side and put that one in for Toronto. Get them on the board. Toronto wins the face-off forward. South Central will pick that one up and gain the zone. Wang now lets it go. Blockered down by Toronto's goalie. And that'll be taken behind the net. Toronto will wheel out of their zone, send it up to their winger, as that'll get by him and onto South Central's defensive stick. Zone gained by Toronto is pressed deep into the zone. Looking far side. That pass is blocked by Wang. That'll be centered behind him. And South Central's goalie will glove that down. Face-off will come just to the left of South Central's goaltender. 11:44 to play in this period. South Central wins the face-off back. Pote will wheel behind the net and send it up to 34. That's out of his reach, and Toronto's defense will juke and jive, get that one off just far to the corner. Picked up by Hollins. Hollins now looking behind the net, centering, and that's blocked away by South Central's goalie. South Central will pick that one up, look to clear their zone. Taking it up the middle on his own, sends that to 97, just out of reach as that will trickle into the zone of Toronto. Hollins now sends it across, picked off by South Central. He lets that go, lets blockered into the netting, and that will cause for a stoppage of play and a face-off to the left, my apologies, of Toronto's goalie. Both goalies here coming in big for their teams, standing on their heads early in this first period. Keep this to a 1-0 game. South Central's centerman 11 wins it. That'll be sent down deep into the Toronto zone. Picked up by 42 for Toronto. He centers it into the feet of his forward. Not picked up. 4 will trail behind him and grab that one. That'll be onto the South Central defense's stick as Toronto holds the line. They will push that one deep into the South Central zone, and South Central battle behind their goal line. Wheeling around is 11 with a stick of 92. He will bounce that behind himself and send that up to Malcolm. Malcolm chips that into the middle, picked up by Toronto's forward. He will send that around again. They will break out from the other side. Toronto's forwards there stand up. They will press deep into the South Central zone once again. Toronto now looking to gain control of the offensive zone here in the feet of her wingerman. Lets it go. That's stick down by 8. 8 will look to clear the South Central zone, and he does. Malcolm now pressuring with Kingsley. That'll go down the sideboard and held in by number 8 for South Central. 8 will center it just a little too hard. Wang will let that one go low, and that'll be steered wide by the Toronto goaltender. Malcolm battling behind the net. That's picked away clean by Toronto's defense. Sent up to Sioux. Sioux will carry that up on his own. 2-on-2 though. He'll get around the Toronto defense. Let that go off the post. Back into the corner. That'll be on the far side stick. South Central's defense held in by Toronto's defense. Hustling to get to that corner board. Toronto will let that go. That'll go off the glove of South Central's goalie and into the glass of the far corner. 27 will hold the line, and that'll head onto the stick of 16. 16 sends it down to Sioux. Sioux walking behind the goal line, sends it up to the centering. Oh, toe save by the South Central goaltender. So that's steered into the far side corner. Toronto now controlling the offensive zone here as he puts that on net, and that's stopped by the South Central goaltender once again. Big saves early by the South Central goaltender Tristan Lee. Keep this to a 1-0 game. Schwab takes the face-off for Toronto. Sends it down into the South Central zone. They try to clear it. Doesn't quite get through. 16 for South Central now behind his own net. Sends it up to 9. 19 will chip that one out, and that'll be a fast break for South Central. 2-on-2 as the stick is knocked out of the Toronto defender's hand. Centering attempt. Push behind the net for South Central there. And Toronto clears their zone again. That one's over the back. Toronto's now in 2-on-1, and that's steered a little out of reach for 74 there as he centers it, blocked by the feet of South Central's defense. Toronto here walking up the middle. Schwab centers it, lets it go off the ball and out. That one will stay just outside of the goal line. Ryan will let that one go off the blocker of South Central's goalie. South Central will attempt to clear it. That'll get outside the line as defense for Toronto were changing, and Hollins sends it across. Toronto sends that up. Talanka will pressure hard in the offensive zone. South Central centers it onto the stick of Wang. Wang now wheeling, sends it onto his wingers, centers it back to him. He will look to gain the line. Can't quite get there. 92 will press that in there. Onto the stick of 13 for Toronto. 42 will clear that zone. That'll be dumped down deep into the South Central zone. This 92 will go behind his own net. And Wang will send that one back to him after the centering attempt. 4. Stretch pass onto the stick of 13. 13 will gain the zone. Talanka lets it go. It's just sticked away by the defense for South Central there. 14 will wheel out now. Centers it just out of reach of his centerman. Toronto will gain the zone. Wang sends it ahead to a sneaky 87. He will get slapped and the net will come off as they make this save. William Palatton will take the attempt there as he stretches behind the defense and nobody detects him back there. Face-off will come just to the left of the Toronto goaltender here. Toronto will win the draw back into below their own goal line. He'll send it across to his partner who will chip it up to Sue. Sue now chipping it. Can't quite get there. It's Malcolm tries to gain the zone, but it's turned away by the Toronto defenseman. Toronto steps offside, and the face-off will be just outside the south central line. Taking the draw now, we will have Lucas Olemo. Sorry if I said that one wrong. Cool. Number 8 for South Central will chip it up to 92. Stood up by the Toronto defenseman, just out of reach of 74. That'll be sent around the boards down in the South Central zone as Toronto regains control. Battle behind the net there, pokes loose. Toronto will look around looking for a pass. Doesn't have one, sends it back. He lets it go. That's just tipped right into the stick of South Central's goaltender, Tristan Lee. Tristan Lee making some big saves here to hold South Central in this one as it's only 1-0, despite the heavy offensive zone pressure by the Toronto team here. Number 11 for Toronto winning that draw. It's sent below South Central's goal line. Wang now wheeling. He's looking to take it on his own, and he will. Wang gains the line, tries to toe drag. That's poked away by the Toronto defenseman, and it's blocked by the South Central stumbling forward into the boards. As it's sent onto Holland's stick. Holland sends it up to Talenka. Centers it. He's looking on his own, sends it back to Talenka. Talenka can't handle the pass, takes it below the goal line. It's tripped up by number 16 for South Central. Wang now sends it up. Centering pass picked up by 34. 34 will send it back to 92. 92 on to 34's stick, picked away by Hollins. Hollins will send that around behind to his partner, who will send it up the boards. And it will bounce over the Toronto offense's stick as they look to get a 5-man change. South Central wheeling. That one bounces off his stick, and Toronto will take that one in. Toe save. Oh, and the rebound is picked up by Cooper Thornton to finish that one to give Toronto a 2-0 lead with 4:08 to play in the first period. Out trailing forward. Nobody saw him there, and he was wide open to tip that one in off the rebound. Face off. Won by South Central as Malcolm takes that one in, looking to get around the Toronto defense, and he won't. Malcolm now battling on the boards, looking for some help. So there's a 2-on-2 battle, and Toronto looks like they will be taking a seat in the box. It's like roughing will be the call here, as Justin Wang will sit down. For 2 minutes, and we'll get our first look at the special teams here. With 3:52 remaining in this first period. Toronto wins the draw. Clearing attempt stopped by South Central's defense. Centering attempt blocked by the feet of number 11. Steered wide by Toronto's goaltender. Clearing attempt, and that will be successful. Puck will roll down to the South Central zone, and Tristan Lee will come up to stop it for his defense. Passing as they come out of their zone. Goes for a skate. Cote gains his zone, drops it to Malcolm. Malcolm sends it back to Cote. Cote. Up to Malcolm. Malcolm drops it off to Cote. Sends it back down to Malcolm. Toronto's defense will pressure hard into the corner there. Up top. Cross to number 14, Alfonso. Alfonso centers it onto the stick of number 11. Number 11 will let that go. It's sent wide. Alfonso will get there first on the back check. And Toronto will look to get a 4-man change. Alfonso taking it in, gaining control of the zone, sends it across just out of the reach of 96. 96 will send that one back. He will let it go. That'll be tipped into the glove of Chase Nielsen. Face-off will come just to his right. Just to his left, my apologies. 41 seconds left in the power play. Face-off won by South Central, back to Wang. Wang will dump that around. Toronto will get there first. That will be picked off by 98 for South Central. A 16 will attempt to hold the line, and he will. 96 will look to make a pass. Centers it. Knocked away by the hand of number 9 for Toronto. Onto the stick of Hollins. Hollins will send that one up as a clear. No dice. 24 will chip that one out. 98 will recover for South Central, and they will look to gain the line again. South Central pressing hard here with 5 seconds left in their power play. And it looks like Toronto will be getting another penalty. To immediately follow up that penalty kill, they will be handed a second 2 minutes. With a minute 49 to play here in the first period, South Central getting a little bit more power play time here. Hoping to capitalize and put this game back within 1. Hollins now serving, slashing for 2 minutes. Wang will win that back. Sorry, it'll be one back to Wang across the 16. It'll go off the feet of the Toronto defenseman and kept away from the net. That'll be cleared. And South Central's goalie will come out to stop it to help out his defenseman. He will stop behind the net and come back up the same side. Send that to Alemo. Alemo will take it up on his own. He will gain the zone. Looking to slow that one down. Sends it back. Wayne walking the line, sends it across the 16. 16 will steer that just wide. Toronto will clear the zone again. It will be held at the line by Wang. Back in the stick of Michelli. That'll be put on net, but Chase Nielsen will see that one all the way in and eat that one up. Amazing offensive pressure by both teams here in this first period as we have a 2-0 lead for Toronto. South Central hoping to use this power play to cut this lead in half. South Central wins the face-off. Back to 8. 8 sends it across to 27. 27 will send that one down as we finish off the last minute of this period. He'll walk. Send it back to Wang. Wang walking in. Stick handles. It's forced wide. Drops it off. It's 30. Wang back on Wang's stick. He'll look. Find a lane. Send it back down. Cut in for the give and go. Doesn't get it back. Tied up by the Toronto defenseman. Number 8 lets it go off the blocker of Chase Nielsen. Wang gets tripped up by the Toronto defenseman, and that puck is cleared down. 25 seconds left to go in the first period. That'll be rimmed around and picked up by the South Central defense. He will send it up to number 8. That line will not be crossed. As Toronto's defense collide there in the middle, Wang will look to capitalize. Forced wide off the pad. Pad saved by Chase Nielsen with 2.9 seconds to go in this period. Eric Wang now getting a change. Oh, no, he will circle back. They pulled the goaltender for 2.9 seconds here. Put out an extra attacker, and that one will be sent down the ice. The score of 2-0 at the end of this first period for Toronto. Hollins will serve another 11 seconds to start this South Central power play second period. Alrighty, back at it here with the second 15 minutes of play in this game between 2013 Toronto and 2013 South Central. South Central will start here on the power play for another 11 seconds before Holland will rejoin us at even strength. Toronto wins the draw, pressing forward. Malcolm will recover that puck, however, and that'll be sent deep into the Toronto zone. South Central's defense doing a great job of recognizing that Toronto forward coming out of the box, not letting him get behind him for a stretch pass. Cote will hold the line, and that'll be pushed ahead into the South Central zone. Alfonso will pick that one up and stop coming up the same boards. Turned away by Schwab. Centering attempt blocked on the back of the net. It'll come loose. And Malcolm will pick that one up just to the side of the goal. South Central will clear the zone as number 4 will hustle back for Toronto to pick that one up and send it up the same boards. Ryan will attempt to center it. Block off the stick of number 80, my apologies, for South Central. Cote getting in there. As Toronto will come away with it onto the stick of Duclair. Duclair now looking to get by the South Central defenseman, and he can, just out of reach of himself, and it'll be picked up by number 14. Centering pass. Just a little too high for South Central to pick up. 19 for Toronto will circle back here to start something. Sends it up to Hussey. Hussey sends it deep into the South Central zone, but Cote will get there first. That'll be centered onto the stick of South Central's centerman. He will gain the line. Hustling deep behind the Toronto net. South Central will look to make something here. Lets it go. And that rebound will just bounce a little outside of the reach of South Central's winger. He will pump that one back in deep, held the line. That'll bounce over the hand of Thornton as South Central looks to regroup in their own zone. The 5 will send that across onto the stick of Sioux. Sioux for Toronto will gain the line. Looking for some help. Won't get any. It'll bounce back down in Toronto's zone. 19 now will outleg number 96 for South Central as it's sent away and regrouped in the neutral zone. Thornton here will pick that one up. He will get around the South Central's first defenseman, running out of real estate as a 1-on-5 with his team changing. He will look to change now as Toronto will control the puck still in the South Central zone. Centering attempt, stick tied up there and unable to capitalize. South Central will clear the zone and look for a change. As Toronto will attempt to break out there. It gets tied up and taken into the boards. South Central will gain control. Poked away by number 21 for Toronto. 44 sends that up. Hollins will send that onto the stick of Talenka. Talenka will push in here deep into the Toronto zone. Send that back to Basso. Poked away onto the stick of 92 for South Central as he will gain the line. Look to let that one go. And he does. Finds the top corner of the Toronto net and cuts the lead in half. Brody Cano will cut the lead in half here, opening the scoring for South Central. With 11:37 left to play in the second period. Fresh legs will come out for Toronto, and Wang will line up against Schwab. South Central will win the draw, and that'll shift the momentum a little bit. Into a hand pass will be called, and the face-off will come just outside Toronto's zone. South Central will win that one, back to their defenseman. He will put it into the zone, and McKinley will look to, not quite. Toronto will look to clear the zone and can't. South Central coming away with that one. Centering, picked up by 74. 74 will wheel that up the wing, and that'll get chipped by Jack Schwab. 3-on-1 here, hustling back will be 34 as Toronto finds the back of the net again. That will make the score 3-1 Toronto. Rowan Hussey will put that one by Tristan Lee. As they answer quickly to that 1 goal South Central made up. Toronto now back in control. Thornton will win the draw to Hussey. Hussey will send that back to Pelota. Pelota cross to his partner. South Central will pick that pass off and regain the zone. As they look to answer again, just wide. Toronto will gain the control in the corner and chip. Centering pass picked away. As he stood up at the line. Puck will be dumped deep into the Toronto zone. Poked up the board. Sue will attempt to chip it out. It's held in. Thornton now caught in the feet of Almino. Thornton looks to let it go just a little wide. South Central stood up at the line trying to clear. He walks out. Thornton walks out. Can't quite get there. Poked back onto the stick of Hussey. Sue will. Puck will be kept in. Thornton will let that go. Blocked by number 14, Alfonso. Thornton will look to center again. Can't. Into the feet of Sue. That'll be poked up to Pelota. 42 will send that across. Toronto will be called offside. Fresh legs will come out on both sides here. With 9:50 to play in the second period. Face-off will come right outside the South Central zone. Face-off won by Toronto, picked up by South Central. And that'll come across to the far side into some open ice. South Central's defense will dump that one in deep. Basso will send that up to 13. 13 will send that, so Central's number 5 will pick that up, and it's off the head of Toronto's number 13. Centered. 42 will pick that one up, but be stopped short by South Central's defenseman. Muscles him off the puck. As he looks to answer, can't quite. Still on his stick. Comes around, centering attempt. Big save. South Central looks to go down in front of the net there. A little bit of a scrum. The South Central player slow to get up. Looks to be number 19, Tommy Marinchak. Slow to get up there. South Central wins the draw. South Central will send that one up just out of reach. Toronto will beat you back to the puck. They will poke that one, attempting to clear the zone. Centering pass onto the stick of 6'6". Jack Schwab now coming in, lets that one go, blockered away by Tristan Lee. Toronto lets that go again off his mask. Jack Schwab will be sticked away. As the rebound comes onto his stick. He picks that one up below the goal line, sends it across. Centering attempt, fumbled, drop back down. That'll be sent up to Toronto's defense. He will send it back down deep in the zone, and Wang will come away with it. Wang will look to send that one around. Cote will flip that off the glass. And McKinley will, just offside as they attempt to enter the Toronto zone. Pinot not happy with that call. So face-off will come right outside the Toronto goal, the Toronto zone. Face-off won by Toronto, back to their defenseman. Sent up to Hussey. Hussey will chip that by for Thornton. On the stick of 14 for South Central. Hussey will pick that one up. The flipping attempt did not work. It will be steered wide. Sue couldn't get the one-timer away. Beautiful passing by Toronto in the offensive zone. And the line will be held. That'll be just wide of the South Central net. Off the stick of Basso. Hussey keeps that one in, sends it across to Sue. Sue gets tripped up with Alfonso, and he will head to the box. South Central will get power play and a face-off down in the Toronto zone. Looking here to answer as hooking will be the call. South Central will win that one. It'll be pushed back to the defenseman. Sent across to 5-5. Lets that one go. That'll be tipped on net by number 16, but not quite in. Number 8 will send that back down. Across to 5-5. Back to 8. Off the shin pads of the Toronto defenseman. South Central will be forced to regroup in the neutral zone. Zone entered. And 5 will look to let that go. He does. Onto the stick. Sticked away by Toronto defenseman. And that will be sent down into the South Central zone. Tristan Lee will come out to help his defenseman. As number 8 will send that just out of the reach of number 5 and up to 96. He will center it. Centering attempt blocked by Jack Schwab, sorry. And that'll be steered into the South Central zone once again. The player will pick that one up, pressuring hard on the penalty kill. Holding that into the South Central zone as he's taken down in the corner. South Central will center that out of the reach onto the stick of Basso, and Basso will send it back in to the South Central zone. Jack Schwab now picking off that pass and clearing it. Toronto pressure on, and Jack Schwab will look to change. Pressure is on by this Toronto penalty kill as they hold South Central in their own zone for the majority of the 2 minutes, 27 seconds remaining. South Central pushes for what may be their final zone entry of this power play onto the stick of 93, and that's tipped up into the glove of Toronto netminder Chase Nielsen. Laying out to take the draw here. 13 seconds to go in the power play, 5:43 in the period. Face-off will be taken by Ryan. And that'll be sent out. Clear the zone for the final attempt of this penalty kill. That'll be picked up as even strength will return to play. And Sue will come out of the box with a centering attempt. Lets it go off the mask of Tristan Lee. That'll be sent wide. Ryan will hold the line with a little bit of help from Sue, and that'll be poked onto the stick of number 4. Back centering shot, steered wide by Tristan Lee. Sue will play that one behind the net. And Toronto's defense will keep the puck in once more. He will lose his stick low in the zone, and Toronto will be forced to regroup in the neutral zone here. Picked off, the pass is by 92 for South Central, and they'll be attacking 3-on-1. Onto the stick, pass blocked by Hussey. Oh, my apologies, by Ryan. Kingsley Ryan there with a big passing stop. As that'll be sent back to the South Central defense. And South Central will be getting a cross-checking penalty. Looks like that penalty will be going to Brody Hano, as Toronto will get their first power play of the period. 4:26 to go. Number 11 will take the draw for Toronto and win that one forward. They'll get caught in the feet of Talenka. He will center it onto the stick of 14 for South Central. Alfonso will send that one down, and pressure will come hard. Toronto's netminder will steer that one out of trouble, and Toronto will look to break out of the zone. It's poked away by South Central's offense as they pressure hard on the power play, or on the penalty kill, my apologies. Battle in the corner down low as Toronto comes away with it. Looking, centering pass onto the stick of 42. 42 will gain the zone. He will look to delay, wait for the rest of his team to catch up. As they set up their power play in the offensive zone. We'll go back to number 11. 27 will let that one go. That'll get tipped up. And that one will be bounced over the head of Tristan Lee and into the back of the cage, putting Toronto up 4-1. Special teams coming in big for a lot of teams here at this series. Even strength will resume for the remaining 3:28 of this period. Gardner will get off. We'll allow number 11 to come out for South Central, and that will be one back into their own zone past their defenseman. Alfonso now hustling to get there before 74. And that'll be flipped onto the stick of Ryan. High sticking, waved off as Alfonso gets there first. And that'll be poked onto the stick of number 11. South Central looking to answer, lets it go, and that'll be tipped wide by the Toronto defenseman. South Central looking to gain control here. Battle behind the net. Looking back, cycles it down, is picked up by Jack Schwab. He sends that out, and that'll be forcing South Central to regroup in their neutral zone. 16 sends it across to 5. 5 goes for a little bit of a skate, dumps that one into the Toronto zone. Hollins will get there first, onto the stick of Ryan. Ryan will center that, and that will be picked away by South Central's centerman. Sent just wide of the glove side of the cage. Tripped up into the feet. Toronto will be headed to the box for a tripping penalty. Coming to what looks to be Anthony Kavason. South Central's power play getting another opportunity to put them back into this game. As Wang takes a hard fall with Thornton in the center. Battle on the boards will be sent back to the Central defense across to number 5. They'll send it down to 34, back to 5. 5 looking, sends it back to 34. That'll be sent back deep into the Toronto zone. Toronto blocked by 34. 34 centers it. Walking is number 8. That'll get sent out of the Toronto zone as South Central will be forced to regroup in the neutral zone. Send that one just out of reach of Wang, and it'll be put back onto the stick of 5 in a clearing attempt. Sent up to 34. McKinley. He will gain the zone. Centering Wang sends it onto the stick of Cano. Cano back to 5. That one's just cut short by the Toronto clear. Tristan Lee out to play the puck as he helps his defenseman out. 5 will touch that by. That'll get put on the stick of McKinley. He'll crash into the boards. Capizano will send that one down below the South Central goal line. Caught up below the goal line is South Central. They'll send that up to McKinley. McKinley will chip that one in deep past Toronto's defenseman. Although they will get there first. Clearing attempt. Just bouncing over the stick of Vitelli. Vitelli back. Sends that onto the stick of 21. 21 will send that up to 80. 80, the final minute of play here with power play still for 10 seconds. Will take their final push. Toronto now will flip that down. It'll bounce over the stick of Cano. That'll be put back below the South Central goal line. As time ticks down in the second period of the play here. Toronto regains even strength. South Central gains the line. Toronto clears it. They look for a final push with 5 seconds to go in this period. That'll be blocked by the skate of South Central's defenseman as we finish this period with a 4-1 score with Toronto in the lead. We will head for a Looks like we're not getting a flood here in this game. Alrighty, and here we are for the final 15 minutes of play. First 30 minutes leave us with a score of 4-1 Toronto. South Central looks to close the gap here. They will line up for the draw. Looks like Jack Schwab will face off against Lucas Elamino. Toronto will win that one back into their own zone. Bouncing off the stick of 27, it'll be up to Beauclair. South Central will need to clear as it came out. Jack Schwab will send that one back. Toronto will get tied up in the middle, and that'll be caught up in their feet. Beauclair will get stood up by Alfonso. He will hold that one into the zone. Jack Schwab now wheeling around the net, sends it onto his forward stick. That looks like Rowan Hussey. He will chip that one up to Jack Schwab. 2-on-1 with the back checker here as Toronto gains the zone, sent to the far side, just wide, net of reach. Hollins will send that one back in deep to hold the line for Toronto. As 74 will look for a one-timer attempt, just bounces into his feet. South Central will get muscled off the puck at the blue line there and regroup behind their net. It will be sent up to the stick of Hollins. Hollins chips that one onto the stick of Sue. Sue now pressuring in, 3-on-2. Back onto his stick and can't quite control that pass. Gets tripped up in the corner. 3 Toronto players will go for it. Hollins, he'll hold the line. Sue will come away with that uncentering pass into the feet of number 11 there. His stick will get tied up with Rowan Hussey, unable to capitalize on the open backside. Wang now pressuring for South Central, will get into the zone, and that'll be chipped off his stick. He'll regain control as it pushed away again. Wang now pressured off the puck there, and Hano will let that one go just high. Net will come off. We will play on. Hollins will attempt to clear that one onto the stick of Sue. And he will. Toronto will look to change. And Sue will get that one poked away into his feet. Hano will send that up, and that'll be passed onto the stick of number 4 for Toronto. Anthony Kavason, as he gets taken down, and Hano will head to the box for a little bit of pushing and shoving after a collision right here at center ice. Roughing will be the call, and Toronto will be back on the power play. Getting another look at Toronto's power play here as that's sent to the far side. 13 will send that across. That'll be tipped down onto the stick of Capizano. Off Kavason, back to Capizano. He'll let it go. That's blocked by the South Central defenseman. He felt that one. Sent back onto the stick of Kavason. And that'll be sticked away by South Central's offense. Toronto looking to control the zone here as they have the extra attacker. Sent onto the stick of Hussey. He lets that go. And that will go right under the bar for Justin Wang. Scoring early in the power play there will bring us back to even strength with 11:58 as Toronto now leads 5-1. South Central wins the draw there. That'll get sent back to their defenseman onto the stick of Alfonso. He's poked away by Bouclair. That'll be set back up to the point. He'll stick that away, and that's a save of a tipped shot for Tristan Lee. Tristan Lee coming in big for South Central here when they need him. As there's a foot race down to the puck, and Bouclair will get there first. That'll be sent onto the stick of Alfonso for South Central. It's sent away to the far side as Cote will now be racing. He will get there. Cote will hold the line for South Central, and that'll be sticked away onto the stick of Ryan. Bouclair now centering onto the stick of Ryan. Ryan. That'll be gloved down and not quite howled by South Central's goaltender. Hollins now picked that one up in the middle, sends that one across to, never mind, takes it himself. He will send that up to Ryan, and Ryan will send it in deep. South Central looking to clear here. Hollins holding the line strong for Toronto today. Centers it into the feet of Ryan. Kingsley Ryan. That one's off his feet. Toronto's goaltender will make a big save there as 96 for South Central. Lucas Alimo will come in all on his own. One by South Central, back to their defense. Vitali sends that across, and that shot is blocked. Sue will send that up to Thornton. Thornton, Hussey will get crashed into there as he tries to pick up the puck and can't. McKinley, he'll toe drag. That's onto the stick of Hano. Hano puts it through the feet of Thornton. That puck will come into the neutral zone. Vitali now centers it just through between the feet and the stick of McKinley. That'll be sent into the Toronto zone. Basso now reversing it up to Hussey. Hussey sends it onto the stick of Thornton. Thornton pushes it up for Sue. Sue loses that. Thornton's there to pick him up onto the stick of Hollins. Hollins will take the zone. Delaying, looking, centering attempt, blocked by Vitali. Sue now sends it across. Hollins looking to let that go, doesn't. Selects to send it back down. 42 now has the puck. Sue sends it around. He goes back, cuts back, centering attempt onto the stick of Hussey, lets that go. That's sticked away by Hano. South Central now looking to chip it by Toronto's defense. Hano will battle back for that puck there, and it will be picked up by Basso. Sent across to Hollins. Hollins will attempt to send that back. It's picked up by Wang. A centering attempt onto the stick of Hano. Hano will head back to the box for tripping. Toronto will head on to the power play with 9:08 remaining in the third period. Capizano here to take the draw for Toronto. Kalenko on the right side board. We'll pick that one up off the draw. He lets that go, and that's steered away. Toronto's defense holds the line as South Central pushes hard to get that puck out of their own end. Can't quite get there. Toronto behind the net, walking, centering off the foot of Tristan Lee as he keeps that one just outside. Face-off will come to his left. Capizano will line up again to take the draw. Face-off one, sent across to Anthony Kavason, lets that one go. That one's gloved down, knocked wide. South Central attempts to clear it. Kavason holds the line. Capizano will now wheel around. Kalenko sends it down onto the stick of Capizano. Centering just off the pad. Rebound out of reach. South Central will push that one to the corner, and Toronto will come away with it. Set back onto the stick of Kavason. He walks, sends it back down. Toronto lets that one go, and that one will be tipped down off the arm of Tristan Lee and into the back of the cage. Toronto pulls away with this one 6-1 on the power play. 8:15 remaining in the third period. Ryan will push that one back to Toronto's defense. They will send it up to Bouclair. Bouclair will center it just out of reach of Schwab. Tote picks that one up, sends it up 96. 96 will center it. He will look to gain the zone. Lucas Alemo now sending it back to the defense. Across to Alfonso. Alfonso lets it go into the bread basket of Chase Nielsen. Clock will run down here now with a 5-goal deficit for South Central as they win that draw. Alfonso pushes that one deep into Toronto's zone. And that'll be wheeled around to Ryan. Ryan sends it up for Bouclair. Bouclair way offside as the puck is delayed by South Central's winger on the boards. Face-off will come right outside the South Central zone. Jack Schwab to take the draw here against Wang. Wins it. Back to the Toronto defenseman. That'll get cleared. Sent across. He'll look back up to Ryan Kingsley. Kingsley Ryan, my apologies. And that'll get sent deep into the zone. Bouclair picks that one up behind the South Central net. Sent back. Back down to the stick of Ryan. Ryan will wheel that one up high. He'll get muscled off the puck, and Wang will send that up to number 11. Number 11 will wheel down 1-on-2. With Wang trailing, making it a 2-on-2. He will steer wide, and Chase Nielsen will blocker that one down into the corner. Bouclair. As Toronto heads for hooking to the box. 6:15 to go in the third period. Bouclair will head to the box for a hooking penalty, and Toronto will get a penalty kill down here in their own zone. Looking ahead, we have Lucas Alamino, Tally, Malcolm, Arcatura out for the power play for South Central. Vitaly will spin back, send that one in deep to Malcolm. Malcolm will be out-muscled for that one in the corner by Basso. Puck battle in the corner. As Hussey spectating from the outside, watching for the high player Vitaly. That will be whistled down as the puck will not move. Face-off will be to the right of Chase Nielsen. Toronto will put some new penalty killers out. Lucas Alamino will take the draw here. He's losing his shell on his pants. Lets that go right into the breadbasket of Chase Nielsen. We will get new defensive penalty killers for Toronto and new forwards for South Central. With half of this penalty gone, we will line up back in the Toronto zone. South Central doing an amazing job of putting the pressure on here into their zone, keeping the puck in, not allowing Toronto to kill any of that time outside of their own zone until now. Toronto will clear that one, and Tristan Lee will come out to help his defense as Vitaly gets there first. Alfonso now wheeling up. My apologies, number 5 will wheel up, and that'll go into the stick of 19 for South Central. He'll center it to 11. 11 lets that go to Malcolm off the head of Chase Nielsen and steered wide to the blocker side. Toronto will clear the zone, and Sue will rush back to beat the South Central defense. He will look to control it down there for Toronto to kill the rest of this penalty. He will get tripped up by Vitelli, who took a tumble into the corner on its own. 11 will gain the zone as Toronto regains even strength, and we are back at 5-on-5. South Central will look to center that one. Can't quite get there. And that'll be back on the stick of Kovasin. He will pass it up, and that'll get cleared. Across the Sioux, that'll get picked off by number 8 for South Central. 74, Bouclair here, walking in, coming across, poking that far side. Can't quite capitalize and put that one in. Wang now in the corner with Sioux. Pass it through Ryan. Basso lets that go, blocked by Wang. Wang now all on his own on the rush. And that is a huge save by Chase Nielsen. Swatted away by his defenseman. He came up big for them, and he will keep that one out again. With 2 minutes and 50 seconds to go in the third period, some big saves from Chase Nielsen, who wasn't getting so much action at the start, but they've been in their zone for a little while now, and sometimes it's hard to keep your head on when plays a lot of the time in the other end. Way to come up big, keep Toronto in this one. As they line up for the draw to his right. That'll be won by Toronto and by Jack Schwab, and that'll get taken below the goal line. Wang now chipping it back to number 8. He'll put it in deep, attempted to put it on net, blocked away by Bouclair. So that's sent up the boards. And down by South Central's defense. Muscled off the puck. Malcolm for South Central as Bouclair takes it behind the net and once again comes away with it. That'll be held in by, blocked and back out. South Central forced to clear the zone. Gives Toronto the time to, in that one, Schwab cycling in, sends it across, pass is picked off. McKinley will now look to go the other way. Transition play big here in the final minutes as South Central can't afford to get trapped in their own zone. That'll be whistled down with 1.5 minutes to go. Thornton now to take the draw for Toronto. Lucas Ilomino will come away with it, and that'll be passed behind the back of Hinault, unable to reach. Holland sends that across to his partner. Cavaso will be unable to handle that one, and Thornton will come in to help him. Lucas Ilomino trying to help in the corner. He comes away with it from stick of Hussey. Lucas Ilomino walking. Kovasin battling him in the corner. We finish up this third period. Steered just outside. Alfonso cycles back. And he's knocked down. Thornton now in, walking, centering attempt. He will run out of real estate and find that goalpost as the puck is flipped into the South Central bench. 30 seconds to play on the clock as time runs. Toronto will get some new defense. And South Central will line up in their own zone. Toronto will win the draw. They'll let the shot go, and that'll be just out of the reach of their winger on the far side. As time ticks down and the clock expires, this game will end 6-1. Toronto pulling out the win. Take you to our 3 stars presentation. And that will be it for 2013 Age Division today at Scotiabank Pond.
Well done to South Central and Team Toronto. Third star from South Central, number 14, Xander Alfonso. Second star from Team Toronto, number 23, Justin Holman. And the first star is this kid just keeps making big saves. Number 31, Chase Nielsen. Well done, you two. Handshake at the front, please, at center ice. Handshake at center ice.
And that will conclude your 2013 matchups for today of Best of the Best series here at Scotiabank Pond in Toronto. So we will take you over to the other rink for 2012 matchup between Team East and South Central from earlier today.
The 4 Points by Sheraton, Winnipeg South. Conveniently located.